Talk to me a little more about comedy, finding your voice as a comedian. You know, you said you tried a little or started when you were like 16 and then you got into broadcasting and all that stuff. Was stand-up always a big part for you growing up? Did you watch, like, did you guys have HBO and see the Young Comedian specials? Like, was stand-up a big part of your life? Or what was your young
I mean,
stand-up
I
like?
just loved going to the comedy club and watching stand-up, live stand-up. And, you know, I was a big fan of comedy. I loved David Letterman, actually. Yeah. David Letterman was my hero. And I would go to the comedy club in Ottawa and see comedians like Harland Williams, who's one of the great Canadian comics. And you know, it was just an exciting thing to be doing stand-up when I was a kid. But when I got into broadcasting, you know, I kind of felt like that was something that sort of took me a little away from stand-up for a while. I basically made a show like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except we would like throw, you know, milk at the camera and stuff like that, and we would break stuff. It was a little more. I was a little more unhinged back then.
You were, but that's why it worked, and that's why we were all so excited to see it. Because, and you know, talking about Letterman, that makes absolute sense because your show, he was also unhinged and kind of taking all of these late night tropes and turning them on their head. And you were doing that with your show, finding these tropes and just throwing them out the window and trying to subvert all these expectations. When it came time now, present day, for you to do comedy, were you doing a similar thing? Were you looking for sort of established tropes and expectations that you wanted to yourself subvert with your comedy, or were you just
stand up?
Yeah, or were you just trying to be funny?
Well, you know, it's such an interesting time for stand up. You know, there's a lot of changes happening in the world. I just you know, I like commenting on just what's going on in the world right now, and so you know, my show's a lot more high energy. I'm sort of in. You know, I'm just sort of being me right now, but when on stage, I kind of turn into a little bit more of a wild sort of crazy character that's delivering my jokes, and so it's a lot of fun. I do a lot of crowd work. I do a lot of interaction with the audience, and it's a good time.
That character, is there parts of that character that you've had with you your whole life? Was it a character that's revealed itself to you as you've been doing the stand-up? Because as I've watched clips and seen you live, I feel like there are little bits that I see like in your eyes when you're doing like the MTV stuff too, just like the way you carry yourself and the energy level that you bring and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like to keep people on edge as to what you know what it is that they're watching, and am I all there? And like right now, I used to do that a lot more in interviews, like in an interview setting like this. Yes. You know, 15 years ago, I might have, shown up and, broke the set or something like that. And then everyone would be mad at me, and then you wouldn't have me back. Yes. And then it's just sort of counterproductive, because I want to come back. I want to come back.
I love this time.
Right. So I'm now trying to just leave the sort of the more crazy character to my on-stage persona.
Did it take you a while in the early stages of stand-up? Did it take you a while to reset those expectations with the audience? Were people coming in waiting for you to throw stuff down?
Well, I'm sort of figuratively throwing things around on stage. Yeah. Like I'm saying, I'm not just sitting there on stage and just talking like this. It's pretty high energy thing. So
it's you in a smoking jacket and a leather chair, just calmly reading to people.
Yeah, not really. No, yeah.